Eugene Montanez was elected originally here to the City Council in 2002. He became mayor in 2007 and was reelected as a mayor, and that's an appointment done by the City Council in November of 2011. He serves on many different committees, and his heart is in this entire game. He has another business besides serving as our mayor. He and his wife Paula have a printing business, and they don't get much limelight on that, but I would like to acknowledge and give a lot of praise to his beautiful wife, Paula Montanez. Eugene and Paula have one son, Bobby. You guys all saw him earlier today, and it's not every day that the mayor's son will be able to carry the American flag, because Bobby Montanez is part of the Corona Police Department Honor Guard, the Color Guard. So thank you, Bobby, for being part of our police department and doing such a fine job. But Eugene understands and he gets how hard it is to do business and to operate, not here in Corona, but throughout the United States. He has traveled to the United States, to Washington, D.C., to fight for good common sense, for tax dollars, for monies to come to Corona. He has taken time to work with people one-on-one. He is the epitome of an open door policy. He is a guy that you would definitely want to support in all causes, because he has your interest at his heart. So please welcome our mayor, Eugene Montanez.
Thank you all for being here today. There's some people here that I haven't seen in a very long time, so thank you for coming out. Hopefully you won't be too disappointed. What we have today is all good news. For those of you that have businesses, hopefully you're doing better than you were a couple years ago. I know our business is, and we're thankful for that. But first I want to thank, and I guess they're gone, but I know, is Reggie still here? Where's Reggie? Okay, stand up, Reggie. Reggie's the principal at Santiago High School, so he's charged with taking back checks if anybody would like to make donations to the band. And I also understand they have a credit card machine out front too. So please help. I purchased they have their own Tournament of Roses pin that is available for sale out there to help support, but there's a lot of ways that we can support. When I took over, or was planning on taking over as mayor, as Bobby said, this kind of rotates around, and it's a ceremonial position. But last time I was mayor, I know how quickly it all happens in just 1 year, so I was trying to be a little bit more prepared. And one of the things that I came up with for no reason was a theme, which is Corona Rocks. I serve on the Fender Center board, but Corona is different than a lot of other cities. I think those of us that are on the city council go out to other cities, and then we're surprised that they're not all like Corona. I mean, this room here is a perfect example of how Corona is different. And so that is the theme that I have for this year. You'll see it on a number of things. You'll see it in the video we're going to go. And so I want you all to embrace that. I want to thank the companies that helped with that, Monster, Lucas Oil, Dart, other businesses here in town that helped lend their names to the campaign to really try to show that Corona is moving forward and is a very unique community. With that, Jim, can you roll the video? We have a video to share with you, and then we'll go into some details. Hi, I'm Mayor Eugene Montanez, and this is the 2012 State of the City Address. It is my great pleasure to tell you that Corona rocks. Big brands, talented people, a rocking business climate. We just gave you the fast track on how Corona rocks, but let's take a closer look at why the state of the city is so great. When I moved here 45 years ago,
Corona was a sleepy little citrus town. Today it's a rocking city with new industries, innovative programs, and organizations that get things done. Corona rocks for three big reasons: new growth, quality of life, and location. When you consider all three of these together, Corona wears the crown. No other city in the Southern California area can match us. So let's start with a new growth. Corona is looking at the annexation of Temescal Valley. This would add over 15 square miles and more than 26,000 residents to the city. Ultimately, the decision will be made by the voters, but we think this is a scenario where everybody wins. The residents there will gain local control over their neighborhoods. They'll have easy access to City Hall and all our city services. And Corona benefits by having room to grow. We can create more jobs by increasing the area for industrial and manufacturing facilities. That keeps more of our residents at home and off the freeways. More control and services for the residents, more people working closer to home, more jobs for our area, and fewer people on the freeways. Freeways and traffic are a constant source of discussion here, but we're working to fine-tune the 91 freeway. A 14-mile stretch of the 91 through Corona will be improved and widened to increase capacity and reduce congestion. This will improve traffic flow for the entire region. That project will lead to about 18,000 jobs and millions of federal dollars invested in our area, thanks to the work of Congressman Ken Calvert and Senator Dianne Feinstein. When it's done, which is expected to be in about 4 years, travel conditions will be better for work, school, recreation, and commerce. And it will provide easier access to one of the finest cities in the nation. Quality of life? Corona has just been singled out as one of the 100 best communities for young people in America. This comes from the America's Promise Alliance, founded by General Colin Powell. Each year, they recognize and reward the top 100 communities, the ones that provide the most outstanding services and support and demonstrate a significant and lasting commitment to their youth. When it comes to our young people, there's no doubt that Corona rocks. Corona is home to one of the largest and most successful AYSO soccer regions in the nation. Our Pony League and youth baseball programs have produced a string of champions, and we have thriving leagues for softball, basketball, swimming, track, tennis, and more. Not only do our young people excel at athletics, but they're also compassionate volunteers, academically gifted, and talented musicians. The Santiago High School Band was invited to march in the 2013 Rose Bowl Parade, a first for any band in our area. We're proud of the accomplishments that earned them an opportunity to perform in this great American tradition, and we're honored that they will represent Corona to the entire nation. Corona offers tremendous opportunities. 32 colleges and universities are within an hour's drive of Corona. Our own Corona Norco Unified is the largest school district in Riverside County and the 10th largest in the state, with over 53,000 students enrolled. Many of our schools have been singled out for their educational excellence and named as California Distinguished Schools by the State Department of Education. Corona offers a symphony of resources and partnerships that make us a safe, progressive, and caring community. That's why people enjoy living and working here. We host an award-winning business program called Team Corona, which forms working relationships with local businesses. Team Corona helps recruit, expand, and keep businesses here in the city. The Greater Corona Valley Chamber of Commerce is always an active partner and a resource for the city to network with local businesses. Several of our nonprofits, like the Foundation for Community and Family Health, offer free health services. The Corona Norco Settlement House helps those less fortunate with everything from rental assistance to a food pantry. According to the FBI, Corona is also one of the safest cities of its size in the nation. Quality of life includes recreation, and Corona is a great place for biking, hiking, and jogging because of our proximity to Cleveland National Forest and the Santa Ana River Trail. Location, location, location. That's why Corona rocks. Here in the geographic heart of Southern California, Corona sits at the junction of the 91 and 15 freeways. This offers easy commutes to beaches, mountains, and out-of-state commerce. New businesses are discovering the huge advantages of being in Corona. We offer convenient lifelines to all the major transportation hubs, yet the cost of land and living here is less than other counties. You can afford to live and work here. Corona is also the chosen location for several TV and movie productions, from the original War of the Worlds movie to Discovery Channel's muscle car series, Rex to Riches. Corona's location is so great, just look at who has decided to set up shop here.
When we first came here, Corona was a very different city, a different environment, and I wouldn't have had the same answer. Today, the city has grown. It's a modern city. It's got good residential accommodation. It's got good neighborhoods. The restaurants are starting to grow. So all round, I mean, I've seen a transformation in the city that has been quite unbelievable in the 15 years we've been here.
The city of Corona is a very nice area to come to live, work. They're very supportive of the community and of industries.
The city of Corona has a very business-friendly attitude. They welcomed us with open arms to come to their city, so we're very proud to be a part of the community.
I do. Corona is a good place to work and live. The cost of living, housing prices are very affordable for my workforce. It's got easy access to great retail and lots of different community support.
One of the things that we've found out in the 2 years that we've been here in Corona is that it's a very good place to work and to live.
Been real fortunate that our move here to the city of Corona has been a real positive thing for us. We've grown as a result of it.
I would highly recommend the city of Corona for businesses.
It looks like everyone agrees. Corona rocks.
You can see really some of the highlights of what's going on for some of you that may either not live here or may not really see all the different parts that those of us that are involved in all these different things see. One of the things on the video was the 91 freeway. And I don't know if you looked closely at the width of that freeway. Yeah, our public works department over there is hiding. It's going to be a massive undertaking. It is going to be a couple years of turmoil in the community as the freeway is expanded, but it will be really, really great to be able to have some of the traffic fixed in that area. So we're looking forward to that. RCTC, which is Riverside County Transportation Commission, is working on the funding, and we're getting ever so close. That's why you saw Senator Dianne Feinstein there. It's not often you get a U.S. Senator that we took from the chamber to Dos Lagos to Fender, and on her way to Fender at 10:30 in the morning, she was on the 15 freeway bridge, the 15 transition bridge, and the freeway was stopped, and she looked at her watch. So we didn't plan it, but it worked very well. So she was able to actually take that message back to Washington, D.C. to show why we need that expansion. Along with the freeway expansion, we're also planning to get finally the Foothill Parkway extension that goes from El Cerrito Road over to Green River and to Paseo Grande. That leg needs to be finished, but we didn't want to get it finished prior to the 91 expansion because we knew that that would just create an extra thoroughfare through the community. We're almost complete with getting the funding. The staff is completing up all the design, so that you'll see moving forward, hopefully starting sometime next year. An exciting thing, especially for our veterans, is our Veterans Memorial. For those of you that have seen, this council and even part of our previous council has been working on trying to get a Veterans Memorial in the city of Corona. Thanks to Watermark Properties, who stepped forward to help us complete the funding for that. That will be dedicated Memorial Day and hopefully be done by Veterans Day this year. So that will be really a great addition to the community. Also on your tables, you've got little rubber duckies, and there's a flyer talking about the Mayor's Water Challenge. So if you live in Corona or your business is in Corona, you go to the website and sign up for it. Currently, Corona is the #1 city in the nation within our size range for signing up. Thanks to our Department of Water and Power, they've started this campaign. And if you go there, you enter in your zip code, you just go through a couple pages of just some quick little questions and put in your email address, and you are eligible to win a brand new Toyota. One of the things that I try to make easy for everybody is on the handout that's on the table, there's a little QR code. For those of you that don't know what it is, that's why we actually have the kids at the tables. Hand them your smartphone and they'll program the app so you can read that if you don't have it already. But that actually has a direct link to both the water conservation program, the Drive for Life that you saw a little bit ago on the video, and WebWatch. And so those are all linked on there, so you can just click on there and find out more information. The Drive for Life is a very important program to me, and they're a little bit described within this brochure as well. And that is actually a free program put together by our traffic division of our police department. It's totally free to new drivers, someone that's just got their permit, just got their license. Get more information if you have someone in your family or you know someone that's doing that. It's a great program. And then WebWatch was designed here in Corona. There's nowhere else that I know of that has this available. It's totally free to a business. You just sign a disclosure form, and you can find that on the website, again, with that link. And it allows our police department to have access to your video surveillance systems if you have that at your business. So that way, if there's a police call, they won't watch it all the time, but if there's a police call, they will then log into your system and watch the video system while the police are responding. It helps with officer safety, and it helps with property as well. So that way, it'll hopefully be a big deterrent. It's totally free, so please look that up. One of the comments that all of us on the council have had over the years is 6th Street and how it looks and everything. And over the last couple years, the council has been very supportive, along with the chamber, of relaxing our sign ordinance so that people could have banners and they could have more advertisement to help bring in business. And some businesses have taken advantage of that, and I'm sure you've seen that. They've got way too many signs, way too many banners that look bad. So we've been working on that, trying to clean up. So I think you'll see along 6th Street and other areas in town where it will start looking considerably better as we get people more in tune with, wanting to increase business, but at the same time trying to make the neighborhood look nice. We talked a little bit about business. Now, for the businesses that are here, how many of you, raise your hands if you've hired in the last 6 months, if you hired any new people? Isn't that great? Give everybody a big hand. I don't think, if we had asked that question 2 years ago, that we would have that same response. And so I know our business, we've hired people, and it is a much better feeling to be able to do that. One of the things, again, there's some information within this, is the vacancy factor in Corona. People get used to watching the news, the national news and even the LA news, and it's usually pretty depressing. But you may not realize our retail vacancy in Corona hovers right at 5%. So you may see a center here and there that has some vacancies, but overall, within the community, we're at about a 5% vacancy factor. The Crossings, which is 1.2 million square feet of retail down at Cajalco, is at a 98% occupancy. So please, is that Kay's table? I verified with her this morning just to verify what the occupancy rate was there, but we are doing very well as a community. Our industrial rate, our vacancy and occupancy, right now we're hovering right around 5% on vacancies in industrial property. I mean, that's a good thing if you own the building. It's not a good thing if you're looking to move, but if you are looking to move, we want you to stay in Corona. Please check with us, either myself, any of the council members, or our Team Corona staff, and we will help you find a building because we know what's coming online and we can help you find something. As far as the city is concerned, we're very, very glad, and this council and our staff have worked diligently over the last few years to make sure that our next 2 fiscal year budgets are completely balanced. Give the staff a big hand. In fact, with that, why don't everybody that works for the city of Corona, all the staff, please stand up so everybody knows who you are. I know there's a bunch huddled over here trying to hide out. And there's some more back there. But these are the folks that work for you every day. Everything from police and fire to public works, Department of Water and Power, and our library. So please, please, if you have any questions or anything, talk to one of them and they can give you some information. Well, in addition to all that good news, we've had some very, very important projects going on. I mentioned Watermark. Those of you that have seen the project down at Rincon and Main Street, River Road, that's 400 apartment townhomes that are being built down there. And I think one of the questions people have asked is whether that's low-income housing, and that's not. They have faith in the market, and that's market rate housing, and that's only phase 1. They own all the property along Main Street where the old Thrifties, the Sears store, and all that will be phase 2 and phase 3. So they have a great commitment into the community, and you'll see that as that development keeps going on. And it's a great location because people actually live there and actually go to the Metrolink station if they want to, if they need to leave town for job or just recreation. Another project that was approved a few years ago is up at the top of Sierra del Oro. There was one parcel that was left, and it was approved for development, and then with the economy it didn't get developed. Well, we do have another developer that has come in and purchased that property, is going to develop that as a high-end gated community, a few less homes than even what were approved to begin with, and so that's moving forward, so that's really good. Another project that's moving forward is right down where 6th and Magnolia meet. It used to be the Corona Clipper plant. That area right now is in consideration right now, and that's going to be industrial manufacturing down there. So that's really neat because that'll be the entrance coming in from the Riverside side. Now, those are all cool, those are all great. But there's a couple things that happened in the last couple of weeks, and I asked some people to hold off on the public announcements forum so that we could talk about them today. One is tomorrow at our infrastructure meeting, we have the first in the Inland Empire that I know of in a long, long time, auto dealership, brand new auto dealership coming in for approval. Is that great? A Mazda dealership coming into the auto mall. So, I mean, to have a dealer come in and see the investment, and see, that's even another dealer clapping. It's good. It's good to have more dealerships, right? And so the more the merrier. So we're very, very happy to see them come in. And then a lot of times people have asked us about those big empty office buildings. They look beautiful down at McKinley and the 91 freeway. Three big office buildings sitting empty. There's been issues with them, legal issues over the last couple years, but we're glad to announce that 2 weeks ago, escrow closed, and Dr. Chowdhury from Hemet purchased those buildings, and one of those buildings was purchased by Monster Energy. And so Monster's moving their corporate headquarters, staying in Corona, and moving over there. That's why you saw the CEO so happy he's able to stay. So give them a big hand for keeping all those jobs in Corona. I know everyone sees their trucks all around town, and they're a great, great community partner, so we're very, very glad. So thank you, and pass that along to the rest of the team out there. And Dos Lagos is always a comment. People always ask how that's doing. Again, there have been issues down there, and all the undeveloped property you see down there, all the dirt that never had anything built on, was just purchased by Rexco. And so a local developer who did Corona Point, if anyone remembers, that used to be a Johns Manville fiberglass plant. So if you remember that site and what it looked like, it's a local developer, has great visions for the area down at Dos Lagos. We're talking at least a hotel down there, offices, more residential. So give them a big hand for doing the commitment to do that. I won't embarrass him by making him stand up because he doesn't like any publicity, but but he's here today too. And so I really appreciate the commitment they have to the community. So, those are some of the things that we've been able to talk about. You can see we've got a lot of things rocking forward, and there's some other things that are in the works that we can't talk about yet, but keep an eye out. Fender Center, the Kids Rock Free program, that's in a transition. That'll be very cool. But as Bobby mentioned, it's not just me, it's the rest of the council go out and go to LA, go to DC to work for Corona. And so it's not one person here that is able to do all this, but the council that you saw up here earlier, all 5 council members work as a great team. And we have, as I mentioned before, we have Brad Robbins is our coach and our department heads who help get everything done. So if anybody has any questions, please check in with any of the council members or any of the staff that are here today. And then Bobby mentioned my family, Paula, who has laryngitis today, and so she just came back from a trip to Oklahoma and isn't able to talk today. But without her help, and Bobby and Angela, Bobby, as Bob mentioned earlier, was here a bit ago, without their support, I wouldn't be able to do this time as mayor, because those of you that see us around know the year you're mayor, it is a full-time job. And oh, there's one more thing. Speaking of strong families, when I was mayor 5 years ago, a local family came to me and said they wanted to do something in the community. They wanted to give back. Over the years, they've been here, they've prospered, but they call Corona home, and they feel really, really dedicated to the city. So last time, they donated $250,000 to the city of Corona to build a water park at Citrus Park just down the street here. So this year, they came to me and asked if there was something else they could do. And so we worked around with the different departments, and Parks lost out, sorry Gabe. And the library this year was talking about needing something at the Teens on Main. They're looking at, for those of you that have been in the library, they're off on one side, but as teenagers can be, they're a little bit noisy. So they wanted to put up a glass partition. They'd still be apart, but to keep the noise down. So if we could please bring up the Vasquez family, Mike and Maria. Javier, can you bring them on down? Give them a big hand to the Vasquez family from Miguel. Their commitment to the community will live on at different facilities, and we're very, very proud to have them a part here of the community. Not to say that anybody else can't make donations as well. So if you have any desire that we want to name, a park after Monster or a, Lucas Oil Fields, we have all those available. It was supposed to be a surprise, but I found out before the lunch that both Mike and Maria do not like surprises. So the kids decided they would tell them ahead of time, and so that they would know that they were making the donation. And 2 businesses here in Corona have helped out quite a bit too. Gary at Office Furniture Outlet and Mark at Golden War Surplus, if you can give them a big hand too. So thank you. Want to say something, Javier? I know.
No,
Go ahead. Go on.
Thank you very much to the city of Corona. My parents have been in Corona for many years. We'd like to support the community. We've done really well in Corona as a business, and we continue to grow. My parents have taught us to give back, so we're trying to give back to many aspects of Corona. And Eugene and I met this beginning of the year and talked about the city of Corona, what they needed. And we thought the library would be best, especially nowadays with unemployment still high in the area. We want people to have access to computers so they can also find jobs. So we're very happy to participate and work with Eugene, of course, and all the rest of the council members, and of course the city staff, who's been great to us and helped us many times in our endeavors in Corona. So thank you again, and we appreciate it from the Vasquez family and from my mom and dad, Mike and Mary Vasquez.
Picture of Jim taking a picture. Anyway, please give them another big hand. Again, they don't have the exclusive. Anybody else that wants to help, we're more than welcome to. Anyway, at the beginning we talked about the community, the youth in the community, and how much I felt that it was important to really bring in some of the aspects of the family, the community. We had Santiago here, and there's a group that's here in Corona that, I mean, I knew kind of they were here, but I didn't really know much about them. And over the last couple months, I visited their site and went in to see exactly what they do. And they actually have a program here in Corona that is a 2-year college accredited program for music, dance, all the different parts of performing, and it's called the Young Americans. And they perform all over the world, and they're right here in Corona. They've been kind of a hidden little secret for a while, but I'd like to bring up Bill Brawley, the executive director, to give a little bit of a background about the Young Americans and introduce the kids we have here today.
Thank you, Eugene.
Thanks.
Thank you, Eugene. Corona rocks, right? These are this is 100 of the 250, and we're rehearsing down the street. Come on up, you guys. Yeah. Welcome. Honored to come here. We love being in Corona. A little back. Have you ever heard of the Young Americans? If you have, raise your hand if you've heard of us. If you haven't, raise your hand. Have not heard of us? Okay, well, let me go back. This is our 50th anniversary. We're the granddads of the show choirs. Okay, so back in 1962 is when we started. A gentleman by the name of Milton Anderson started the Young Americans. He was a teacher, and the young people he saw in his classroom were not the young kids in the media. There was a generation gap, you know what I mean? So he took, back then choirs went, Elijah Rock, and they wanted to move. So he said, let's have them sing and dance, and we were the first singing, dancing show choir back in 1962. This is all improv, can you tell? Okay, just so you know. Okay, so let's see. So if this lady lives down the street, I'm just hand mics to people and you can meet them. Here you go, Christine. Oh, her dad was a Young American.
I listen to the song here in my heart, a melody I start.
That was really good.
Shenandoah, I long to see you away, you rolling river.
By the way, we can dance up a storm too. There's